A lot of traffic. Well, good morning, Bucyrus. Big week. It's a beautiful day out, man. I tell you, it's going to be in the 60s. It's sunny, and I guess it's going to change a little bit here. But it's always a big week in the city of Bucyrus because this is a week we honor our veterans. And I'm here with Randy Fisher from the Bucyrus Historical Society, and we're also at my business here, the shoe store. And every year, the veterans, or the Historical Society, comes in and uses the windows here to show some of the things that honor our veterans here. And this year's no exception. And if this is a abbreviated version this year, but in the south window, we're honoring 2 Medal of Honor winners. Bucyrus is very fortunate. Communities our size to have not 1 but 2. And as the truck goes by, I'm sorry about that. Everyone may know Harry Martin and his heroics, but did you know about Cyrus Sears, Lieutenant Colonel Cyrus Sears from Bucyrus? And boy, does he look like the Sears that I knew when I was growing up. John and Kathy and Mary and Mr. Sears, our longtime attorney here. Boy, look at, you can just see in the eyes. So Randy, tell me a little bit about these guys, what you know about them.
Well, we don't know a lot about Colonel Sears. We know he was awarded the Medal of Honor for bravery in the Civil War. He survived and lived a long life afterwards. He's actually spent a lot of his post-war years over in Upper Sandusky, and that's where he's buried. But he was raised here and went to school here. Lieutenant Harry Martin's more familiar to folks because he was a World War II vet, born and raised in Bucyrus, graduated in 1928, got called up in 1943, and ended up in the battle on the island of Iwo Jima, just south of Japan in February of 1945, where the Marines invaded and took that island. Won't bore you with all the gory details, and they were very gory, but suffice it to say, they were attacked on the last day, the day before they were actually going to be disembarked and come back. And Japanese had a sneak attack on the morning of that day, and they were totally unprepared to repel that attack. Lieutenant Martin 3 times charged at the Japanese armed only with his .45 caliber pistol, and repelled the attack. He was wounded twice, and then he fell to a grenade. So he's buried out here at Oakwood Cemetery. So what happened is, earlier this year, his family selected the Bucyrus Historical Society to receive his remaining artifacts. We had some. There's some on display at the high school, and there was some on display at City Hall. So we've kind of corralled a number of those, and thank you very much, Mayor, for letting us borrow the model of the USS Harry L. Martin and some other stuff. Also to the high school for the medal was on display out there, so we have it now. So, should talk about Friday.
We'll come and talk.
All right.
Let's wrap it up. Let's go over to the Historical Society, and maybe we'll look at some of those and invite everybody. Tell about what's going on Friday.
Right.
But if you come down to the shoe store here, you can look and you see all the dates. And President Abraham Lincoln signs the legislation allowing. It created the Army's Medal of Honor. So, and then, like I say, Lieutenant Colonel Sears was given that in the 1890s. So, lots of very interesting things. A lot to be thankful for. We thank our veterans, and especially these 2 veterans here who gave all. And we will be honoring them in a special way at an event we're going to talk about just a little bit. So let's shut it off here. We'll continue in just about 5 minutes.
I talked to him.
Well, here we are again, Bucyrus. Thanks for watching. Got some big events this week, and probably the biggest one's on Friday at 1 o'clock. Randy Fisher is going to tell us a little bit about what's going on here at the Bucyrus Historical Society, the absolutely beautiful Scroggs House. And tell us what's going on, Randy.
Well, so as I mentioned just previously, the Martin family decided to give the Historical Society the remaining artifacts and memorabilia that they have. We had some of it. It was actually a choice between us and the World War II Museum in New Orleans, and they chose us. And we're very, very grateful for that. So we have a number of things on display, but what we're going to do to really promote this is we're going to have an event at 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So Veterans Day, Friday afternoon at 1, outside. Looks like the weather's going to be very nice. It's supposed to be almost 70 degrees on Friday. To honor Lieutenant Martin and to call attention to the artifacts that we have here. So we're gonna United in Harmony is going to sing a few songs as well. We're going to have our keynote speaker, if you will, is going to be another Bucyrus native, 3-star General Norm Smith, who was a 1951 graduate of Bucyrus, who went on to be a 3-star in the Marine Corps. He can't travel, but technology that we have, he's going to give us his remarks by phone, and it will be projected out to the audience. Then there's a letter, we call it the letter from Lieutenant Martin's commanding officer just a week after he was killed, the letter back to his mother. And it's very moving. It goes in great detail about what happened that morning, and I have trouble getting through it to read it. It's that moving. So Ty Bowers from the American Legion, a retired Marine, is going to read that. Then we're going to have the reading of the official citation that's attached to the medal. What we're really thrilled about is the service organizations are going to participate. They're going to have a color guard, a firing party, and the VFW is going to bring their Willis Jeep over to be on display. And so it should be not a long event, be under an hour, but then the museum will be open to the public to come in and view this display of stuff that we've put together.
And on display you've got, I know you may not be able to catch it there, Bonnie, but
well, this is the actual Congressional Medal of Honor, and we're so grateful to Bucyrus High School for allowing us to borrow it for this event. It's on permanent display out there. A lot of you have seen, and just
those Purple Hearts,
Purple Hearts, and all of his other medals. His cover, yes, and his knife, and
his letter,
his letter that he was given in 2015 when he was inducted to the Bucyrus Hall of Fame, because he did play. There's a photo here of him on the varsity basketball team, and so.
Tell us about this stuff behind you.
This stuff back here is stuff that I've gotten. We've obtained through Doug Wilson, actually. So in 2005, when they raised money to put a proper headstone and monument at Oakwood Cemetery, these are letters from President Bush, from the Secretary of the Navy, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, acknowledging that his sacrifice. This one, you may not be able to see it, but this is a photo of 5 of his men immediately after the battle that was fought here on Iwo Jima. And this is really cool stuff. Back in 2005, they solicited letters from men that he served with. And these are very moving letters. Some of them describe in detail, again, what happened that morning. They said they're eyewitnesses. This one says, I wanted to name my first son Harry, but my wife prevailed, and his name is David. But still, the thought that it says, I was with him the last morning the Japanese attacked us and saw him in action when he was killed. To me, he was a great man and a great leader. So there's some very, very neat movement. And now, one thing I would do point, this we just recently acquired from the family. This is Harry Martin's golf clubs, and it actually, golf club.
That's cool.
When he graduated from Michigan State, his first, and then in the early 30s, his first job was out in Hawaii. He went to work for a company in Hawaii, and we just figured that he probably picked up the game then, or he might have played out here at Bucyrus. We don't know. Have some other things like his foot locker, and then there's a nice display. Again, thank you to the city of Bucyrus for allowing us to borrow the.
There's a ship named after him.
The USS First Lieutenant Harry L. Martin.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
And so there's just a lot of really, really neat stuff.
And one of the things I love the most is a picture of Lieutenant Martin leading his men. A picture before
Right.
at one of
And
the
again,
camps.
that's his
Yeah,
company.
That's a great picture.
So.
And I'll come to the event on Fridays. No charge.
Oh, yeah, no
Come-
charge. It's here at the society. We're going to be outside, just behind the museum. So there'll be.
And then come inside afterwards.
Come inside afterwards.
This is great.
See all the.
Thank you
all
guys
the
for
neat
doing
stuff.
this. It's great to honor Lieutenant Martin, our hero, and not only him but all the veterans.
One of his, he has two surviving relatives, two nieces. B. Martin will be here. Terry Martin is in Washington, D.C. She wanted to be here, but she's having a procedure done, and her daughter's expecting a baby, so she's
my
not.
gosh.
She's not gonna be here.
We're going to give her a pass on that. And also, don't forget, that same night on Veterans Day on Friday, the annual event we have at the high school honoring our veterans. And if you haven't been to that event, that's a very cool event.
It
All the
is.
high school bands come in and
All
the
six
hall
of
of
the, right? The 6 county bands will all be there. Is that
yeah.
correct? Yeah.
And then that's how we honor the veterans that are going into the Crawford County Hall of Fame. So please come out to that, honor the veterans. You know, it's always we don't want to ever forget the sacrifice that they make. Not just Lieutenant Martin, who gave the ultimate sacrifice in this act of heroism, but the people that serve, that leave their homes and their families to keep us safe. So we're going to honor them on that day too. So Friday, 1 o'clock, we'll see you here at Scroggs House, and then come up to the high school, Bucyrus High School, at 7. So.
And the Legion's having a breakfast in the morning, a pancake breakfast at the American Legion. So you can do it.
No, you don't have to be a veteran to go to that?
You don't have to be a veteran. You don't have to be a member of the Legion. It's open to the public.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody. See you at one of the events this week.